Welcome to our daily word on this Tuesday. Continue to have a couple of internet issues this morning, but hopefully this will broadcast today. And since it didn't work so well yesterday, I've just chosen the same scripture for today as we continue our conversation through the daily word. I'm grateful that you've chosen to be with me and to spend these few minutes with me as we share our lives together and conversation around scripture and what it means for us, and then how we try to apply it to our daily lives. So I've chosen for this morning, daily word number 840, what I chose yesterday, which is Psalm 90, verse 12. But before we get to verse 12, just a couple of snippets from Psalm 90 that we hear. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You turn us back to dust and say, turn back, you mortals, for 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it is past, or like a watch in the night. And then we jump to verse 12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So, we count what matters. We count points. We count dollars and cents. In churches, we count attendance. We count championships and points scored in ball games. We count what we think matters the most in life, what we value. Our schedules and the dollars in our bank account. Counting's, kind of a way of keeping track, a way of paying attention, a way of valuing. I've been counting these daily words. I don't know that it's 100% accurate. It's probably not. I probably miscounted somewhere, but it's 840, and people often ask me, what day are you on? What day are you on? And I know the answer always. I always know the answer. We count what matters. We don't count, what's in the back of our mind. We don't count things that don't get our attention. In life, we often spend time counting painful situations. We keep track of what hurts. Worse than that, we keep track of who hurts us. We count moments of happiness and joy and euphoria. We count the highlight reels of our lives. The scripture reminds us that asking for wisdom to see every day as valuable is an important thing. To count it, to name it, to see it as an opportunity worth living and sharing. Teach us to number our days. So, last week, I lost a friend. He was diagnosed with cancer not that long ago. It went really, really, really fast, faster than anyone expected. And while it's hard, his life had come to that point. Teach us to count our days, number our days. Sunday, with my mom and my cousin and my aunt and many others, we gathered for the funeral of my cousin who's just 10 days older than me. And we gathered to talk about her life and to share conversations about her life. And I think we're reminded in that to number our days. I've been thinking a lot about that. I'm going to turn 60 in a few days on the 25th. And I know that many of you watching are older than 60 and have crossed that threshold. And it's not a crisis number for me, but it's an interesting number, 60. And sometimes I look in the mirror, and look at my face and say, I don't know who you are, but I'll shave you anyway. Life is as much what we do in mundane times as what we do in the highs and lows, maybe even more so. But we need to learn to count every day, every opportunity, because they matter, because they make a difference. You know, the psalmist, in all of Psalm 90, talks about who God is and where God's been in the world and in the psalmist's life. 1,000 years is in God's sight is like a yesteryear when it's past, or like a watch in the night. And then the psalmist comes to this amazing conclusion in this verse. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Perhaps for us, it is in that conversation, in those words, where we lack. Asking for a heart of wisdom, to do the right things, to be about the right things, to share the right conversations and the right stories. We need wisdom as we live our lives and as we share our lives with those around us. So, I've been thinking a lot the last couple of days about my friend Chuck, about my cousin Joyce, about others, you know, too, who are close to me, who are struggling with life at the moment, and turning 60. And what does that mean for me? Where do I go? What kind of wisdom do I need moving forward? And it's in that prayer that I think you and I could find common ground, that we should ask God to give us wisdom for the things that we're called to do. So that's our daily word for today. Thanks for joining me. I hope it was a meaningful word for you this morning as we live our lives together. As always, thanks for being with me. Be careful of the weather. It's rainy, it's nasty, it's going to be windy and cold. So just be ready for that if you have to go outside. Know of God's love that surrounds you. Know of my love for you. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Have a great day.